All right, let's jump straight into this. Today, we are breaking down the absolute mechanics of one of the most common and frankly most fascinating web vulnerabilities out there, SQL injection. We're not just going to sit here and talk theory, we are going to walk through the exact step-by-step anatomy of a hack. As you'll see, something as innocent as a poorly worded error message can literally act like breadcrumbs, leading an attacker right to the keys to the kingdom. So if you've ever wanted to see how these attacks actually play out in the wild, you are definitely in the right place.
Now, before we get to the fun stuff, I need to make one thing absolutely clear. This explainer is for educational and awareness purposes only. Everything we're looking at today was performed by an ethical hacker, let's just call him Kim, and it was all done in a completely safe, controlled lab environment. Kim is running a Kali Linux attacker machine against a website that was deliberately built to be vulnerable, using Apache, PHP, and MySQL. Our goal here is to help developers, business owners, and security folks truly understand how these flaws are exploited, so you know exactly how to stop them. We're picking the lock to build a better door.
So here is our roadmap for the breakdown. First, the vulnerable setup. Second, generating usernames. Third, automated enumeration. Fourth, executing the SQL injection. And finally, defending against the attack.
Section 1. The vulnerable web setup. Okay, picture a cozy little online store called Sally's Store. They sell handmade pottery. Customers can log in, and Sally, the owner, logs in to manage her inventory. But behind the scenes, her login system was rushed. It wasn't built with security in mind. So Kim, our ethical hacker, is poking around the site, spots the login page, and decides to do a quick test. And this tiny detail totally gives the game away. Out of habit, Kim types in some generic usernames like admin. The website spits back an error saying username not found. This is a massive red flag. Sally's backend is just way too chatty. It's giving away critical intel. By telling Kim the username isn't found, it basically promises that if he ever guesses the right one, he won't see this error. A secure system shouldn't do that. It should always use a generic message like invalid credentials. Keeps the attacker completely in the dark, you know?
Section 2. Generating targeted usernames.
Kim is now going to weaponize that chatty error message. He knows if he finds a valid username, he's basically halfway through the door. But he's not going to test thousands of random names. Instead, he fires up Python to build a customized, highly targeted list. Step 1, he starts with a base name, Sally, since it's her store. Step 2, he adds common roles, like admin or administrator. Step 3, he throws in some separators, maybe combining them directly or using an underscore. And step 4, he applies variants for capitalization. The script just loops through every possible combination of those specific elements. And in just a fraction of a second, that Python script spits out exactly 36 customized potential usernames straight into a text file. That's it. Kim doesn't need some massive dictionary file with millions of generic words. He used basic logic to craft 36 laser-focused guesses. It is incredibly efficient. Moving to Section 3, Automated Username Enumeration.
Obviously, Kim isn't going to sit there and type those 36 names in by hand. He automates the whole thing using Hydra. If you aren't familiar, Hydra is a brute force cracking tool built specifically for this kind of rapid-fire testing. Let's look at his command. He uses the -L flag to load up his new username list and a -P to use one single dummy password, like dummy123, for every attempt. He points it at sallystore.com and targets the login form. But here's the genius part. He tells Hydra to look for that exact error message, username not found. The tool is instructed to flag any attempt that doesn't return that error, because no error means the username actually exists.
Kim hits enter. Hydra fires off those 36 attempts in literal milliseconds, and boom, we have a match. Hydra flags a positive hit. Just to be absolutely sure, Kim goes to the site manually, types in Sally_admin with an underscore, enters some random password, and the site gives a brand new error, wrong password. That tiny shift confirms it. Sally_admin is definitely a real user in the database. Step 1 is completely done.
Section 4, Executing the SQL Injection.
Okay, so Kim has the admin username, but he has absolutely no interest in guessing the password. He wants to leapfrog right over it. To see how he pulls this off, we have to look at the database. Normally, when you log in, Sally's database runs a SQL query looking like this. Select all data from the users table where the username equals Sally_admin and the password equals dummy. Both of those conditions have to be completely true for the system to let you in.
But like we said, the login wasn't built securely. It doesn't sanitize the inputs. So Kim types Sally_admin into the username box.
but he follows it with a single apostrophe and then a hash symbol. That apostrophe dynamically manipulates the structure of the database query. It basically tricks the system into thinking the username string is totally finished, and then he drops in the hash.
And here is the fatal flaw. In SQL, the hash symbol indicates a comment. Everything after it is completely ignored by the database. So when Kim injects that hash, the entire second half of the backend query, the part that actually checks the password, is turned into a comment. It vanishes. The query just becomes select user where username equals Sally admin. And since we already proved that user exists, the database says, yep, looks good to me, and lets him right in. Kim clicks login, and just like that, he has full admin access to the store without ever touching a password.
Section 5. Defending against the attack.
Look, watching this unfold in a lab is cool, but real attackers use these exact methods every single day to steal customer data and wreck businesses. So how do we stop it? Here's the playbook. First, always use prepared statements or parameterized queries. This forces the database to treat whatever the user types as just plain data, not executable code. That dangerous apostrophe just becomes a harmless piece of text. Second, never trust your user inputs. Sanitize and validate everything before it touches your backend. And finally, use generic error messages. Don't tell people username not found, just say invalid credentials. Don't hand them the breadcrumbs.
So let me leave you with this. Could one little apostrophe bring down your business? It sounds absolutely crazy, right? But as we just saw, a single unsanitized character can completely bypass an entire security system. Whether you're coding the platform yourself or you're a business owner relying on one, you gotta take this stuff seriously. Security isn't just an add-on, it's the whole foundation. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and please sanitize your database inputs.